But as a designer, I hope you recognize that this is an opportunity for you to take something mundane and make it creative. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I'm Karen. I'm a graphic designer, and I love to talk about packaging design. And this right now is one of my graphic design show and tells where I talk about packaging. Specifically this product, which is BrewDoctor's Crisp Apple Kombucha, which has notes of apple, more apple, and green tea. I usually have pictures on the side, but I'm just gonna do it like this today, so there's not a lot of editing, because I realize that if I have too many things happening, I don't want to do any of them. So I'm just like removing my blockers, as it were, to make it more flowy and more energetic. So here's why I liked BrewDoctor's Kombucha. This is why I'm like, should I have it right here? Here's why I like BrewDoctor and why I chose it. I'm not recommending this to anyone. This is just my personal opinion. So I purchased this because I was going into Sprouts and I just wanted a little treat. And this kombucha was $1 cheaper than the one that I was thinking of initially buying. So price point, check. The second thing that caught my eye was the apple flavor. I love anything apple flavor. I am a fall girly. I don't live where apples are grown, or I would be at the apple orchard every day of the fall. Thirdly, I really did like the packaging design, so I'm excited to talk about that today. Also, I don't know how far away to hold the microphone. So kombucha is marketed as a probiotic drink, but I personally don't buy kombucha because of the probiotics. I used to work at a natural products company and we made probiotics, so I got to see the ins and outs of gut health quite literally. Anyway, here's what I know. Most probiotic-rich foods like yogurt and kombucha and like fermented foods, they do have live cultures and they do have like live bacteria, which is good for your gut. But in order to get all the way down to your gut, it has to go through the harsh environment of your stomach, where the stomach acid is and where it helps where all the food is broken down. So most probiotics can't survive the environment of the stomach to make it to your lower intestine where they actually need to be. I don't believe that kombucha probiotics can survive the journey, but that's not why I buy it. And in most cases, fourth reason why I like it is because typically kombucha is lower in sugar. This one actually has 18 grams total carbohydrates, which isn't as low as I would like, but it's apple flavor, so I didn't really care. If you want to talk more about gut health later, let me know in the comments. So it's basically a fun drink that makes me feel fancy, okay? So if you're wondering or looking for inspiration, this label design was created in 2023 by the creative agency Pearl Fisher, and I looked on their website. I love their work. They have worked with clients that I know in the health and wellness industry, like Blue Bottle Coffee and Seedlip, and more famous brands that are not in the health and wellness industry. You can take a look yourself if you want. I highly recommend their website portfolio as inspiration if you're looking to design your portfolio or look for different, I keep saying inspiration, but yes, it's very inspiring. Let's get back to BrewDoctor. So I'm just going to talk about basically the physical attributes of this package, and then we'll get into the label design. So what I'm seeing with my eyes is that this kombucha bottle is amber glass. Why I think they did this, there's some hypotheticals that I'm going to think through them with me. So first of all, kombucha is gross to look at. So I think they used a dark colored glass to hide the little imperfections in the liquid, if you know what I mean. If you've seen kombucha, there's a lot of things in there because of the live culture. So a lot of people probably don't want to look at that, especially if they're wanting to try it for the first time. They don't want to see something gross and be like, is that supposed to be in there? it's supposed to be in there, so that's why it's in a dark glass. Also, amber glass really helps protect the products that are inside it against any like UV or light deterioration. And lastly, my hypothesis, if you haven't seen BrewDoctor's previous label, they looked very apothecary-y. Kombucha, life cultures, probiotics, that is like gearing your brain to think about like health and wellness, and like traditional means of medicine. The apothecary quality of the amber glass is really evident here to me. I don't know if that's everyone's opinion, but let me know in the comments, because maybe I'm wrong. That's fine. And then we have the label itself, which is a BOP. When I say BOP, you say BOP. No, when I say BOP, BOP stands for biaxially oriented polypropylene label, and basically it's like plastic, but it's like yeah, so it's waterproof and oil proof, so you can like keep this in the kitchen and it won't, like, it's waterproof. You can go swimming. Don't go swimming with glass. It's a metallic BOP, and you can see that in the Doctor, like they have this coppery quality, but then the finish is matte. So it's really interesting that they have a metallic label with a matte finish, and that just makes it look really nice in person. And that's my opinion, because I love a good matte label. So what can I say? And the last thing I wanted to mention was this aluminum cap, which I think ties all of those elements that I just mentioned together. It's like I don't even know what to call it. It's like fishnet. That's not a good explanation, but it like fades up. So I thought that was really cool. And they have a version of their logo right there, which I also thought was really cool. How are we doing here? This is very fun and exciting for me. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk about the label panel by panel. So we're going to start with the front. And I really like the front of the label. So I might have mentioned before, if not, it was in my head and I thought it still counts, that the logo is the largest thing on the bottle, which in some cases I don't like, but in this case I do, because the name ties in to what it is selling. So BrewDoctor, it's a kombucha, that makes sense. Plus, like, once you see BrewDoctor and you already have questions, so you see, if you read top down, which most people who read English read top down, left to right. So you read BrewDoctor, biggest thing on there, and you're like, well, what is that? Then you get to organic kombucha and you're like, oh, okay, that makes so much sense. Great job, Pearl Fisher. You know what you're doing. You've been doing this decades longer than me. So anyway, let's move on. And let me know if you agree. If you hate a giant company logo, let me know. I don't always think it needs to be there. I'm very case by case. So I think it works for this. This makes sense to me. So my number one favorite thing about this whole label is the front. Come on, of course. This is beautiful. This looks like a mixed media where, like, you can tell that there are vectorized shapes here, but when you look at the colors, it looks like watercolor, and that is breaking my brain. Well, it's not impossible. Like, I do graphic design, but still, it's like really cool to see. So I just love looking at it, and plus it's apples, so I love it. And they got their little mascot. We'll talk about him in a minute, after the illustration and stuff, after me gushing about the illustrations and stuff. I really love the these are brand elements, like the little circles and this little star. Those are brand elements that I saw all across their website, and I love the addition here because it looks like it's in the sky. It looks like stars. It's giving fizzy. It's giving expectations. So I really like that they're there, and it's a good way to fill, like a really good way to fill the space. So here it is again. So like I was saying, the amber glass is custom glass. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like a tea leaf, which makes so much sense given that kombucha is made from fermented tea. I can't believe this was the cheapest kombucha on the shelf with what I'm seeing right now. And let's take a look at the bottom, which I already saw, but you haven't yet. And we see this brew doctor right here. That's so nice. So what I am noticing though is that this logo does not look like this anymore. If I go on previous like pre-2023 websites, this is what their previous brand looked like. So that's what happens in the industry, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what they're planning to do. Maybe they're like using all of these before they switch to the new logo, or maybe they're not even going to do a new custom glass after this. I don't know. That is none of my business. Before I mentioned that it looks like the design was printed on a BOP label, a metallic BOP label, and you can tell that it's a metallic BOP label by the way that it is. I'm just kidding. I mean, I mentioned that like it's metallic just right there. The copper really shines through the label, and like you can see it on the side, and then you can see it on this panel. It's just such a nice touch. It's a nice detail. It's not really a detail. It is most of the label. It just elevates the whole package. One last thing that I will say about this label is that this crisp apple typeface, I know that one. Just wanted to say that out of the billion typefaces there are out there, whenever I see one I know, it's just so exciting. Meow. And if you wanted to know, it is Gopher. If I'm going to have to guess the font, it's bold. So it's Gopher bold, like Gopher gold or copper. It's copper. But I feel like a genius right now for knowing that. I mean, the copy overall in the front is really cute. So it says tasty and fizzy probiotic tea. And then under crisp apple, it says apple, more apple, green tea. And I love all those things. Lastly, before I go, this is probably the first label that I have talked about that does not have any kind of certification or like icons on the front, ruining the beautiful mountainous appley landscape. So I thought that was just a nice detail. The first time in the history of my channel, probably, I don't remember, that I'm seeing the icons we'll talk about that later, very well organized to the side, so it doesn't obstruct the beautiful front illustration. So considerate to my eyes. Last thing, I noticed I didn't say anything constructive, which is probably a first. But I have one thing, so okay, this is just like the nitpickiest of details, which is take it how you will, but this is me right now. Right here where the C is, it was like distracting me that the stem is like partially touching the C, and then it's like coming, kind of going off the apple. So I'm like, if you could move it over or up or both, that would be less annoying. But that is just one person's opinion, so don't worry about it. So let's go to the next fun panel. They're all fun. The thing that I like about cylindrical labels is that there's 3 panels essentially. You got the front, and then you got the left and the right, and it's probably backwards. It's fine. But like on boxes or something, that you have the 4 panels. You kind of have 6 panels on a box, but for cylinders, it's easy peasy. So if we go here to the fun side of the panel, they're all fun. Like I said, I don't know. You have some descriptive copy. This delicious blend of Pacific Northwest apples is refreshing to the core. Nice. And then you get like this cute little side note. I'm trying to kick the habit of calling something cute when I mean effective. Okay? Keep me accountable. But I really appreciate when... Yes, girl. Are you sad? You said that you're on a diet. I really appreciate when a label puts a beautiful looking graph. So I like when drinks have like a taste profile. I don't even know if that's in focus. I love when drinks have a taste profile. So essentially this means nothing to me, but it looks so pretty. And that's all I care about, really. I'm glad it's not spicy, so I guess I can imagine flavors in my brain. So I'm like, it's helpful in a way, but at the end of the day, it's not helpful for a lot of people. So it's just something cool you can design on a package that keeps your interest. So I really appreciate that. I'm really a sucker for graphs on packaging. So, and they have their little mascot, this little sloth. His name is Otis Sisgood. Just picking apples. How does it feel to be living my dream? Okay, moving on. After the fun stuff, we have this CACRV. So this is the California Redemption Value, which is 5 cents, and it applies to like 6 other states. That's great. I don't live in any of them. Does not matter to me, but it's nice. If you live in these states and you get reimbursed for all of the glass and aluminum and stuff that you recycle, that's really great. And I know this company really focuses on sustainability and being carbon neutral, an incentive for you to recycle. I think that's a plus. If you know more about it, let me know in the comments, because I would like to know. And at the very least, I would like other people to know if they are really interested and if they live in those states. So also on the edge is the barcode. And I do know for this one, unlike the, what do you even call it, CTRV, every product needs to have a barcode. And that is a fact. I would consider this designed because it is the same teal that is on the rest of the label. So I would consider this designed, but you can always push it further if you want. And then lastly, on this side of the panel, if you don't already know, there is usually, this is why I take a picture, but because I know it'll be in focus. Here's my eyeball. So this little number underneath the barcode here is known as the version control number. And if you are new to packaging design, you need that on there because it tells the company, I made a change to the label. If anyone asks me, hey, can you pull up the previous version? I'll be like, oh yeah, because I have saved over versions before and I've had to remake previous versions to CYA. Cover my butt. Barcodes, version control numbers. I love talking about boring stuff on packages. But as a designer, I hope you recognize that this is an opportunity for you to take something mundane and make it creative. You're already designing a whole label. Why not just keep the train running, you know? Very demure. Bottom left of the label, easy to read. Beautiful. Final panel. Nope. Yeah. So here we have the ingredients at the top. Beautiful. So few. The fewer the better. But for kombucha, you need at least 6 ingredients. I don't know. I don't make kombucha. I love that the ingredients are at the top. This is not something that I normally see. I usually see them toward the bottom, but I love how they did this because the ingredients are in the sky and it's like it was at the bottom. The words would be obstructed by the illustration, so it's very smart. I approve. So I love that they put all the certifications on the side. So they have a lot of important ones. So I will read. They have the USDA organic, the B Corp certified. I'll just read the rest of them. So they have the carbon neutral operations. I think that's what it stands for. Raw and probiotic. A lot of labels love to put the most expensive ones in the front because those are the most recognizable and those are what people really look for when they're shopping. So if they're on the front, people are like, oh, that one. So I like that they put it on the side because, as I said, beautiful. And then they have certified kosher and non-alcoholic. And then the last 2 at the bottom, the rectangle ones, are non-GMO and gluten-free, which are very important. Well, actually, I could get into non-GMO, but I won't right now. Not the point of the video. I would say, actually, like out of all the icons, there's only one that I would be like, you know what, this one isn't really adding anything to the lineup, you know, the raw and probiotic. But but you can't just have an odd number. You can't just have 7 icons. So I get it. So, okay, lastly, we're going to talk about the nutrition facts panel, which, fun fact, if you're a graphic designer, you got to make it yourself. I'm just kidding. They probably have some templates out there, but I had to make it myself. And there's so many rules. There's probably like 5 rules, but still. If you ever see a bad nutritional facts panel in the wild, please send it to me. I would love to laugh. I would love a laugh. And at the bottom, you got more essential information. So it has the address where the headquarters are, and then like this little disclaimer that says non-alcoholic. Putting a non-alcoholic disclaimer on kombucha is actually important because some kombucha is, and this one is not. Basically, when it comes down to fermentation, it's like, so the time and the variety of the yeast really indicate what kind of kombucha you're going to get. So this one is non-alcoholic. Maybe I should have said that in the beginning. I don't know. Overall, super delightful packaging. If I have not gushed enough, so I'm going to give my entire Brew Doctor experience a 9.5 out of 10. That doesn't usually happen. Yay, that was fun. I know, like kombucha is like a super divisive beverage. If you don't like it, that's fine. I know, it smells like socks. Sometimes they do actually taste good. Kombucha technology has come a very long way. Yeah, and I'm speaking to all the mushroom haters out there. That is totally fine. But if you do love kombucha, let me know. Also, we're at the end here, so usually I have a little update or like something on the side that I talk about. I really enjoyed talking. No, I liked my setup. Let me know. I'm always open to feedback on my videos. Please be nice, but I am open. Let me know what you think about the setup. I feel like the energy is better. I feel like I had more fun. I love this little $17 mic. Do my makeup with it while I talk. That would be a terrible idea, but was fun. Also, if you've been watching me for a while, no, you haven't, because I've been gone since April. So I took a longer than expected break, but I am back for this video. Hopefully I'm back more consistently. I keep talking about like, oh, be consistent, which is great, but consistency is not something that I have been very good at when it comes to building a habit or keeping a goal for myself. So I want to be better. I want to know how to make these videos more exciting and more energetic and more engaging for people who are starting their packaging design journey and just like wanting to see what kind of products are in the health and wellness industry. I keep saying industry. There's probably a better word for that, but that's all I can think of right now. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye.